As 2024 unfolds, Boeing finds itself navigating through one of its most tumultuous years, marred by whistleblower scandals and persistent safety issues with its aircraft that have captured global headlines. This series of crises has not only damaged the company's once stellar reputation, but now also poses a critical risk to astronaut safety through its troubled Starliner project. Initially hailed as a potential redeeming venture for Boeing, the Starliner was supposed to restore public confidence by safely ferrying astronauts to and from the International Space Station, ISS. However, recurring technical failures have jeopardized not just the spacecraft's missions but the lives of those on board the ISS, putting Boeing under intense scrutiny. As Boeing grapples with these issues, SpaceX has emerged as the reliable alternative, stepping into the breach with its proven Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon spacecraft. This shift highlights a pivotal moment in space travel where traditional aerospace giants are being challenged by newer, more agile players in the industry. This article delves into the unfolding scenario, examining how SpaceX is positioned to capitalize on its past successes in astronaut retrieval amidst Boeing's ongoing struggles. The saga began with the first manned Starliner launch scheduled for early 2024, which was abruptly cancelled due to a malfunctioning valve in the Atlas V rocket, a critical component in controlling the rocket's upper stage pressure. This was followed by further setbacks, including a glitch in the ground launch sequencer that led to another scrubbed launch. Despite these hurdles, the Starliner eventually launched on June 5, carrying veteran NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams. Although the spacecraft managed to dock with the ISS, the return journey has been plagued with delays, primarily due to unresolved technical issues like helium leaks in the propulsion system. The persistent difficulties have forced NASA to repeatedly postpone the return date, now potentially further delayed beyond June 26, 2024, as Boeing scrambles to diagnose and rectify the Starliner's problems. In stark contrast, SpaceX has continued to demonstrate its reliability and safety, having conducted over 200 successful missions with its Crew Dragon spacecraft, which has now become NASA's go-to alternative for ensuring astronaut safety. This juxtaposition of Boeing's faltering project and SpaceX's successful missions underlines a broader shift in the aerospace sector, where legacy companies are increasingly being challenged by newer entrants that can offer safer, more cost-effective solutions. This shift is further complicated by Boeing's internal challenges, including quality control issues that have also affected its commercial aircraft production, leading to calls from some quarters for NASA to re-evaluate its hefty investment in Boeing's aerospace ventures. 2024 is shaping up to be a tumultuous year for Boeing, marred by whistleblower scandals and persistent aircraft safety concerns that have grabbed headlines. This turmoil has severely dented Boeing's reputation. Yet, the stakes have risen dramatically as the safety of astronauts now hangs in the balance. With the Starliner project, Boeing had a golden opportunity to transform public outrage into acclaim. Unfortunately, it appears that they have squandered this opportunity as well. The issue transcends mere corporate image. It concerns the well-being of astronauts stranded at the International Space Station. As Boeing and NASA work through the Starliner complications, SpaceX emerges as the sole steadfast option for safely returning the astronauts to Earth. This video will explore the unfolding scenario and how SpaceX is poised to repeat its past successes in astronaut retrieval. Before we go further, please remember to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on this situation and other intriguing topics. The saga of Boeing's Starliner has been fraught with hurdles from the start, even before it managed to dock with the International Space Station. Initially set for earlier dates, the first manned launch on May 6 was aborted due to a malfunction in the Atlas V rocket's valve, which controls the upper stage pressure. This malfunction led to a last-minute scrapping of the launch. The mission was rescheduled but encountered yet another setback on June 1 when a glitch in the ground launch sequencer's computer card triggered an automatic stoppage moments before launch. This required engineers to replace a defective power supply unit in one of the ground control computers before another launch could be attempted. Despite these setbacks, the Starliner finally took off on June 5 from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. On board were seasoned NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams, charged with testing the spacecraft systems in anticipation of future missions. The Starliner achieved a secure and stable orbit, docking with the International Space Station on June 6. While it may seem that the difficulties ended once the spacecraft docked, the reality was quite different. The challenges persisted with ongoing technical issues and setbacks that delayed the return mission. Originally, the Starliner was slated to return on June 18, 2024, but this was postponed to allow for additional preparations and spacewalks initially planned for June 13. However, these spacewalks were later called off due to issues with the spacesuits, pushing the return to June 22, 2024. Nevertheless, this return date too faced deferrals owing to persistent technical troubles with the spacecraft. Specifically, helium leaks in the Starliner's propulsion system needed more investigation. On June 18, NASA announced another postponement, moving the return date to June 26, 2024. Experts now anticipate further delays as Boeing has yet to fully diagnose the root issues. This situation leaves SpaceX as the only dependable alternative for astronaut return. SpaceX has consistently demonstrated its dependability, launching its Falcon 9 rocket on an almost weekly basis. The firm's record is impressive, with many successful manned missions to the International Space Station via the Crew Dragon spacecraft. Since the Falcon 9's debut, SpaceX has achieved over 200 successful launches. In contrast to Boeing, which has been plagued by ongoing technical difficulties, SpaceX has upheld a robust safety record. The Falcon 9's reliability is such that, when firms encounter severe issues like those Boeing is facing with the Starliner, they often turn to SpaceX to guarantee the astronauts' safe return. In December 2022, a critical incident occurred when the Russian Soyuz spacecraft developed a significant coolant leak while docked at the International Space Station. This raised grave concerns about the safety of the spacecraft for returning its crew, which included Russian cosmonauts. During this crisis, NASA contemplated deploying SpaceX's Crew Dragon as a substitute vehicle for the return journey. Successfully launched atop the Falcon 9 rocket, the Crew Dragon docked at the International Space Station, where it swiftly facilitated the transfer of the stranded astronauts. Adhering strictly to safety protocols, the Falcon 9 ensured their safe return to Earth. On the other hand, Boeing is reluctant to seek rescue from SpaceX for its Starliner, seeing it as a considerable embarrassment. Being one of the pioneering and most revered names in aerospace, Boeing started with a mere $100,000 but swiftly escalated into a behemoth in space exploration. By the time SpaceX was established in 2002, Boeing had already achieved a market capitalization exceeding $70 billion and amassed a wealth of experience and resources in aerospace. Space engineering began with significantly less capital but swiftly captured attention through innovative strategies and successful missions. Both Boeing's Starliner and SpaceX's Dragon were conceived under NASA's Commercial Crew Program, which aims to establish cost-effective transport to and from the International Space Station. Contracts were awarded to both entities, with Boeing receiving $4.2 billion and SpaceX $2.6 billion. Despite the larger funding, Boeing's Starliner has been plagued by numerous delays and technical challenges, a far cry from its expected operational status in 2017. The program has faced various obstacles that have considerably delayed its progress. In contrast, SpaceX, operating on a tighter budget, efficiently completed the development of its Crew Dragon. This spacecraft undertook its maiden uncrewed test flight in March 2019, followed by its inaugural manned mission in May 2020. Since then, the Crew Dragon has participated in several missions, earning the accolade of the world's safest spacecraft. The simultaneous development of the Crew Dragon and Starliner under the same NASA initiative only magnifies the predicaments faced by Boeing. Despite its substantial budget and resources, Boeing's continuous delays and technical difficulties have positioned SpaceX as a more dependable and capable partner for NASA. One might ponder how a giant like Boeing could falter so significantly in managing spaceflight ventures. Internal issues within Boeing have heavily influenced the Starliner project. The company has encountered numerous quality control issues, similar to those affecting its commercial aircraft. Unlike SpaceX, which focuses mainly on rocket launches and space exploration, Boeing's vast portfolio encompasses commercial aviation, defense, and space. This diversification has led to a dispersion of its leadership and resources across various sectors. The company has navigated multiple crises, including the grounding of the 737 MAX and production setbacks with the 787 Dreamliner. Many experts suggest that NASA should re-evaluate its commitment to the Starliner and possibly cease further investments in the program. Boeing has already suffered substantial financial losses, estimated to be around $1.5 billion beyond what was covered by the NASA contract. NASA's strategy to avoid a monopoly by not exclusively funding a single entity is understandable. Nonetheless, there are other dependable entities apart from SpaceX that could meet NASA's needs. For instance, the Dream Chaser project, which is on the brink of its initial orbital flight test, represents a distinct alternative to the likes of Starliner and Dragon. Known as the Mini Shuttle, Dream Chaser boasts a unique design with reusable capabilities and the ability to land on conventional runways. It can transport both crew and cargo, setting it apart with its horizontal landing feature, unlike the vertical landing approach of the Starliner and Dragon capsules. That concludes today's update. If you found this information insightful and enjoyed the presentation, please subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next update.